Hey there, I am here today for a Magic Online draft. It's been a while, I know, but yeah, I'm happy to be here playing Magic. This is actually a pretty interesting pack. There's a lot of like decent to strong cards. Um, I think Ojutai's command is just too good that I have to take it, but I'm not really sure because blue white isn't really a huge thing. There's the problem is that there's no A plus uncommon ultimate price something like that, which I would happily take over Ojutai's command. I haven't played with it in limited, but I imagine it to be very good considering that two drops are stuff that I want, and countering creatures is going to be something that I want to do. And I mean, I can always cycle it and draw a card and something like that. So the other cards that really stand out to me as probably the best ones in the pack are Flatten, Sabretooth, Outrider, and I mean, if I had to choose a green card, it would be Airy Bowmasters, but it's not quite as good. And there are some other decent cards: a Tarkir, Behemoth, Sentinels, Palace Familiar. There's actually a lot of good stuff in this pack. I wouldn't be surprised to see Elusive Spellfist or Palace Familiar come back. Flatten's not coming back, and there's not really any white cards that I'm interested. So I'm going to take Ojutai's command. I think it's pretty reasonable to take that as my first pick. And here, there's no good blue or white cards, and there are really not too many good cards in general. I could take an Anticipate to stay on color, but I think I'd rather just take a Tail Slash just to pick up the best card in the pack. And I don't want to be too married to my first pick, considering that Ojutai's Command is a decent card, but it's not necessarily an A+ bomb that I have to stick with. Anyway, there is defeat in this pack, which I'm fine about. I'm happy to play it. I've heard a lot of people say that it's bad, but they'll always play it, and I think that doesn't really make any sense. I think it's a decent card. It usually trades even on tempo, and sometimes it gives you a better advantage because you can push through damage that turn. So I don't mind defeat at all. I'm very happy to play it in any deck, and I think it's a pretty decent card. And then there's Dragon Scarred Bear, which I'm happy about playing. But overall, this pack is a little bit garbage. I don't really expect to play anything that comes back. But I'll pick up a Tail Slash here, which is a strong card. And here's another pack that seems pretty weak. And it's going to, again, be pretty hard to stay on color. I mean, there's a Void Squall, which I'm not really sure how to evaluate. I haven't played it, so I can't really say. Salt Road Ambushers sticks out to me as the best card in the pack, but even that I haven't really played with too much, so I'm not sure. It seems okay, but it could definitely underperform, and I wouldn't be too surprised about that. Interesting. There really isn't much in this pack. There's a Silumgar Butcher as well, and a Hand of Silumgar. I mean, Hardened Berserker is a playable card, and I do have a red card already. It's actually pretty unclear how much worse Hardened Berserker is than Silumgar Butcher or Salt Road Ambushers or Hand of Silumgar. So I think I might just take it, because I did get a Tail Slash before. There really aren't any signals that can be derived from this, just because none of these cards are too strong. Any of these cards I would be very unhappy taking third pick, so I'm just going to stick with Hardened Berserker here, and then we'll move in whatever direction we see. So now there's a couple more green cards, which we saw a green card last pack and two more this pack. So that's starting to build the makings of a signal. Silumgar Spell Eater is the best pack, and we do have that Ojutai's command laying around. We haven't seen much white. There's a Sandstorm Charger in here, which I'm willing to play. If we wanted to stay on red, then I would take Kindled Fury, which I'm happy to play, but there's no way I would stay on red when I have a choice between Airy Bowmaster, Salt Road Ambushers, and Silumgar Spell Eater. It's going to be one of these three cards that I choose. I'm leaning towards a Spell Eater, though actually I probably should just take a green card, because red-green is better than red-blue, I think, in general. I'm going to take the Spell Eater. Or should I take the green card? I'm going to take the green card. No, I'll take the Spell Eater. Yeah, this is a tough one. It's a pretty important pick in the draft, and it definitely could lead me astray in a bad way. So there's two green-white dragons in this pack, which means a number of things, but I haven't seen much other white, so I don't really want to jump in on that. If I had taken a green card last pack, I'd have a nice choice here. Between Guardian Shield Bearer or the sideboarded Pinion Feast. I mean, sideboarded Surge of Righteousness, I'm very happy to take it fifth, something like that. It's a really good card, and it's going to be available at least. It's going to be available a strong amount of the time. I wouldn't play it in my main deck, but I'd play it out of the sideboard, and even Pinion Feast I'm also really happy to pick up now. Even if I don't main deck it, I'll play in the sideboard. But I'll take a red card here. Again, I don't really even know if red's open, so I just don't see that any of these other cards are that much better. The green-white dragons are okay, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if white's really open, and I'll be sending a bad signal anyway. Which I mean, it's a thing sometimes, sometimes not. So here there's this green-red dragon, which I would be pretty happy to play. I'm happier with this Tarkir Freet though right now. I'm pretty sure I'm getting enough signals that show that red it's kind of open, so I'm happy to play it. I'm getting actually pretty good red-green cards, which is interesting because I kind of wish I had the Airy Bowmasters right now with that other 3-drops, or the other 4-drop, the Morph guy. So I would be happy to take Savage Ventmaw here, but honestly a Tarkir Freet's not too much worse, and I don't know exactly where I'm going to end up. So yeah, the reason why, more green cards. I'm going to take the Shield Bearer here. And, I mean, Graceblade Artisan is a playable card. Reduce in Stature is a playable card. Grave Purge, I honestly don't hate this card in blue-black, just because a lot of your little creatures get you value, and you can cycle through them again, and that's usually pretty valuable. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to take the green card here, just because I feel like red-green is where this seat should be. Reduce in Stature, I don't even like Pacifism, and this card is so much worse than Pacifism, so I'm just going to take a Shield Bearer here as a decent card. Not really anything in this pack that I would want to play. Tygam Strike I'm going to take just because if I'm playing as a Tarkir Freet deck, then Tygam Strike is going to be one of the cards that I want to play in it. This is probably not going to make my deck. So, yeah, I mean, Radiant Purge, whatever. It's not a real card. Doesn't actually kill anything. Mind Rot's an okay card. Durgar Nemesis is a fine card, but... Okay, and then, so... Oh, this is such a tough call. So we wield Airy Bowmasters, which I thought was one of the best cards in the pack. I mean, it was a really strong pack, to be fair, but there are 3 playable green cards in this pack. The problem is there's also this Palace Familiar hanging around, which is a fine card. I think that just because the synergy will be better in red-green, I'm going to take the stronger green card. And I think that Airy Bowmasters is a little bit better than Tygam Strike, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. And did not really get rewarded here with anything. Impact Tremors is not going to be in my deck. The only card that could make the deck, I guess, is Glint, but even that, it's very unlikely to make it, so I'll take it. But yeah, I'm actually really down on this card. I don't think I would ever play it, but I would actually probably main deck Shape the Sands if I end up in red-green with a bunch of Gorswines and stuff like that. I think that this card is a really strong tempo play. Conifer Strider is definitely something that I'm looking to pick up. And another Glint is whatever. I'm just going to take this card because it's a little bit more playable. Ancient Carp, whatever. Yeah, so as I was saying, Shape the Sands ends up being a really strong tempo play. You attack with your creature, you get to play this, kill their creature, and you still get to play another creature of yours on your turn, and that's one really strong way to get ahead, which is tough. Tygam Strike, I mean, honestly, if I randomly pick up lands, then I can play it. But we kind of waffled around a little bit there. I missed out on one Airy Bowmasters, I think, which is unfortunate, but it's really not too bad. And I ended up with a pretty mediocre pack. And I get rewarded here. Wow, there are some red cards in this pack. So Harbinger of the Hunt is obviously... Actually, it's really not obvious, but it's going to be the pick. And there is an outside chance that I table something like a Tarkir Beastbreaker, which is really good. Just because all the good cards are red or green, and I don't think that there are too many people at this table in red-green. I might table this Treadupon, actually. But yeah, I'm going to take Harbinger of the Hunt. Roast is obviously premium removal, and exactly what you want to be doing in this format, but you don't really pass this dragon. It's one of the better ones, and I'm very happy to play it in this deck. Commune with Lava is not a card that I'm very happy to play in any deck, so I'm going to pass on that one. And there's not much here. So white being open, I mean, white's not really open, but I'm not even going to comment on that because it doesn't really make any sense. So I'm just going to take this stupid 4/1 for 3. It's not a good card. I can get Kindled Furies a little later. I mean, I can get this later too. I already have one Kindled Fury replacement card, essentially the same card, and they have the same kind of impact. I could take like a Zephyr Scribe in case I'm not sure if I'm in red-green, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be in red-green. I'm going to get rewarded for it in pack 3. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could have picked up some blue value here, but oh, I got a Sabertooth Outrider. So I think Saber-Tooth Outrider is a better card than Profaner of the Dead anyway. This is, I mean, this is one card that I've seen people ship when they're in red, green, or whatever, or any big red deck, and I just don't understand it. The only thing I would take over it is really, really good removal. I don't even think I would take Sarkhan's Rage over it. Maybe I should. I don't know. I haven't played this archetype enough to really know, but this card's sweet. That's really all I have to say. Okay, not much here. Some more white cards. So now I can really say what I was going to say earlier, which is just that white's open from this side, but that doesn't mean that I made a mistake abandoning IzDaisho's command. It means that white's going to be empty in pack 3. So I would have ended up with one strong pack of white, which is not necessarily the worst thing ever, but it would not really have helped me win this draft. So I have a bunch of 3s already, but I still think I'm going to take, well, actually, maybe I should take Dragon Fodder. It'll be a good card if I need a transition from offense to defense. I don't really have too much in the way of 2-drops yet, and pack 3 isn't going to give me too much on the 2-drop side, and Colossus on Yearling and Dragon Fodder are basically even guards, so I'll go ahead and take Dragon Fodder just to be a little bit more on, just as for curve purposes. So, I mean, honestly, Tormenting Voice is not a card that I want to play, but I'm going to probably be looking for playables. Maybe not. It depends how well the rest of this pack goes. Magmatic Chasm is also a card I'm okay playing. But this deck doesn't really need it. Maybe I really should be taking this, actually, now that I think about it. And I could take another Conifer Strider, but I already have 3-4 drops, so I'm not too concerned with that. I don't know. This is one of the morphs that I do not really want to play on 3. I'd rather just cast her for 4, because it's such a good rate. 3-4 reach for 4 is just, you don't really see that most of the time. So there's actually 3 decent options. Enduring Victory is the best card in the pack, followed by Defeat, I think, just because of versatility, be able to kill anything you want. And the white is really, really flowing here. I'm pretty happy to take Opinion Feast, though. I think it's important to pick up sideboard cards in this format. Usually you end up with enough playables, so it's not a big deal. A little shy in this draft, so maybe taking the Kindled Fury wouldn't be a terrible plan. And yeah, so seems like I sent a bad signal or something, so the guy to my left is definitely in red or green or both. But I'm going to get hooked up for it in the next pack, so I'm not too concerned, really, even though maybe I should be. I'm going to take Volcanic Rush in case I don't pick up something like Magmatic Chasm just as a finisher and as a playable spell if I need one. This pack, again, if I was in white, I'd be happy. Blue-black, it's kind of just because I can get the Great Teacher's Decree. I could take a Custodian of the Trove, to be honest, but I think that this is more likely to be good in the deck. I'm going to take Obscuring Aether. This card's fine as just a 1/2 drop. You play it on one, you unmorph it. I don't really care that it would help me cast my face down creatures. I'm just playing it as a 2/2 for essentially 2. And I was right that Tread Upon came back. I wish Beastbreaker came back, and I'm a little concerned that half the draft is taking cards in my colors, and maybe I won't get as hooked up as I want to in the next pack. But yeah, here's a Zephyr Scribe. So at this point, I'm just going to sort by color. Yeah, I'm pretty evenly split, so it'd be hard to abandon one and drag blue in, but none of these other cards are playable enough for me to care, so I'll just take this and put it in the sideboard. I'll take a Naturalize. I don't think any of these others are playable. I don't really know if there's any time I would ever bring in Naturalize, but I don't know, whatever. Yeah, see, at least people are understanding that Reduce in Stature is just not playable, and it goes 13th and 14th, or 12th and 13th, and stuff like that. So that I don't. People are adjusting to the format, and they realize how bad that card is. But all right, so we got 16 playables, which means that we need 7 more, maybe 6, but probably 7 more. And I mean, I could go for this Pinion Feast, but that means that I'm not really going to be taking lands over spells, and I didn't really end up with too many 3-drops here. Well, there's a 3-drop that I'll play. There's actually 2 strong cards in this pack. I'm probably just going to take Alesha. Maybe I'm not. Ah, man, this is a really tough pick. Because premium removal versus a really, really powerful, strong body that comes out. Some people would be deterred by the fact that I'm not going to be able to activate it, but a 3/2 first strike for 3 is really strong. I don't think it's quite as strong as Bathe in Dragonfire. But yeah, alright. So this pack is kind of trashy. Take a Whisper of the Wilds. I'm not really the deck for this card. I'd rather be playing a 2/2 on turn 2, but it's a strong card, so I'll be happy to pick it up. Goblin Heel Cutter. If you're playing a red aggro deck and you're not taking a Goblin Heel Cutter, then you better be taking a really strong rare. Alright, so this is one of the things that I was considering earlier. Atarka Beastmaster and Custodian of the Trove is actually a really good combo. I don't think that I'm the deck for Atarka Beastmaster, and there's a Temur Battle Rage in the deck. Temur Battle Rage, there's also Rugged Highlands, but again, I have to take spells over lands here. So Temur Battle Rage, let's see what, I mean, we've got this thing, we've got a Sabertooth Outrider, Conifer Strider, Artillerist, and I'm hoping to pick up at least one Goreswine. So I think that I've got enough for this. I might not, but we'll see. I didn't really pick up any, I only picked up one Outrider. I didn't pick up any Summit Prowlers. I didn't pick up the 5/4 that has to attack. So there's definitely a hole in this deck. All right. So normally I would just take the Rugged Highlands to make my mana better. Honestly, I probably could. I'm at 20 playables. I'm only at 11 creatures, so I definitely want to take another card, and I'll take a Frontier Mastodon. It's not great, but it's a thing. It sort of works with Temur Battle Rage, if I already could have used Temur Battle Rage. But whatever. Alright, so I think I want to take Return to the Earth. I already have Opinion Feast. Maybe I won't take Return to the Earth. It might come back. I'll take a Smoldering Efreet because it's a playable 2-drop, and I'm in the need of playable cards. And I did not get one out of this pack. But I will take this Mardu Rune Mark, I guess. None of these other cards are even close to playable. Another Smoldering Efreet, and a Hunt the Weak. And a Ruthless Instincts. I don't think I'm going to take the Ruthless Instincts. Hunt the Weak is not actually that good in my deck. What am I doing on 2-drops? I got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4. I guess I could use another 2-drop. I also could use another card like Ruthless Instincts, though. It's basically Tread Upon, but a little bit worse. So, I mean, is there any world that I actually take Ruthless Instincts over Hunt the Weak? Yeah, I mean, my deck really does not benefit from it. Yeah, I'll take Ruthless Instincts. Okay, I'm actually pretty happy to pick up a Fierce Invocation. Somebody took... Oh, yeah, there's... Never mind. I was being an idiot. Alright, Fierce Invocation. Temur Rune Mark or Collateral Damage. I guess I'll take Collateral Damage in Siren if my opponent's playing a lot of passivisms. Formless Nurturing is a creature that I can play. Return to the Earth came back. That's awesome. This card should not be going this late, I don't think. But there were a few cards towards the end of that pack. Okay, so I mean I've got enough playables. I don't have enough good cards, but I've got a dragon. I've got some curve kind of things going on. I don't know. This deck's all right. If I don't know. I probably would rate it somewhere pretty low out of 10. Volcanic Rush might just be a strong enough card that I want to be playing it. I think Formless Nurturing is not going to make the cut, and probably maybe one of these. Oh, I only have one Smoldering Efreet. Alright, so let's group these separately, but then push these back in that make creatures. And then I'll move this Atarka Efreet here, and that's kind of, I mean, this guy can go here or here. Whisper of the Wilds is really mediocre in this deck. I'm not trying to push anything out. I don't have too much going on in the way of mana development. There is actually like a reasonable chance that I should cut it. Oh, actually, this is a creature too. So this number is misleading. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spells, 8 spells, which means that 8 spells, 15 creatures, which is fine. I need to cut one more card though, and it's probably going to be a spell. Temur Battle Rage is really average in this deck. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I think I'm going to cut this Tormenting Voice. Could be a mistake. It could be that I'm supposed to cut one of these bad pump spells, but I'm actually really disappointed in this deck. I think that maybe I should have been green-white. I don't know. I thought red would have been more open than it was. I was kind of just leaning towards it just because I randomly picked up a couple of them early. I could have done a much better job drafting this deck, I think. And if it were a better player or more used to this format, then they would be happy. One thing that I am happy about is that I have these two for the sideboard. It'll actually be really useful, and I mean, just having instant speed removal against your opponent's 5 and 6 drops is very strong, so I'm happy to see those. Return to the Earth comes in so often just because there's almost always either a pacifism or a flyer floating around somewhere. So let's see, this is probably just going to be an even, or 9-8 in terms of green, just because I have a couple of, I've got a 1, 2, 3, yeah, just because basically this double green. Let's just sort by color. I actually have a couple extra red cards. I think it's just fine either way. I guess since I can play this face down, I may as well go 9-8 green. Okay, so yeah, that's the deck, and hopefully I will crush some people and win. But yeah, I'll see you in the next game. Thanks for watching.